Being creative is something that I think is natural for people, but there's a certain amount of intimidation for people to create things. So we wanted to create a story that reflected the potential blandness, in a world where people aren't being creative.
With the career mode, we didn't want to make it an overbearing experience. We wanted it to be pretty light, fun, a story that kind of progresses you through it with some humor.
Get it off me! Get it off me!
Our final product's got this really great, really rich single-player experience. Our game's about play, create, share, but if you're feeling a little antisocial or want a little just downtime to yourself, turn off the online connection and just play a really fun single-player game. It started out with a vision for telling an entertaining story.
To come up with a story that was light and entertaining, kind of drew you along, took a lot of kicks at the can.
As the story evolved, we were able to, get a script in place. It kind of took on a life of its own.
We ended up working with a great writing group and took a lot of edits, but we came up with something that we're really happy with.
Early on, we wanted you to feel like that was a world you were already familiar with. So by setting up this history segment at the beginning, you feel like you know how it all started.
The ModNation Racing Championship was born and rose to become the premier international karting competition ever.
This story is mainly a racing story. It's framed in a sports television racing program. It's really straightforward for people.
It's not you going out to save the world against the evil, monsters or aliens, because our game, it's meant to be more fun.
You start off with the chief, who was kind of a washed-up racer, and he's going to mentor you through this kind of with hard love.
Okay, you won yourself a boombox. So what?
And then all along the way, while you're going through all of this racing, you've got, Biff and Gary, these sportscasters who are commenting on the race series.
Roll that clip again.
Basically, the odd couple, two guys that love to hate each other.
We needed to put characters in our story that had a little bit of edge to them.
There's Biff, who's the bully,
Gary just graduated from pull-ups to big boy pants.
and Gary, who's a super sweet, nice guy.
That'll be a challenge.
Like working with you, Gary.
It was really tricky, actually, to write a story where the main character was going to be whatever the player decided to make the main character.
We were like, oh my gosh, how are we gonna get this done? It's never been done before.
As soon as you can customize the character in the game, all the rest of the story scenes show that character.
In terms of a speaking part in the story, we can't really allow that from the player because the player could make a monster or they could make like a cute kid.
There is an underlying story there of creativeness, of this individual who really wants to show people that he's creative, even if it's not right.
You're someone who's out there and you're doing something different. The corporate entities want you to be wearing logos and everything.
See that dotted line right there?
And you don't want to. You want to be your own person.
That's to encourage players to be creative with their character, be creative with their card.
What the story allows us to do is progress the player through the different elements of the game, like the character studio, the kart studio, the track studio, and we've involved that in the story.
So you get a lot of an introduction into some of the tools. They tell you how they work.
If you want to learn about stuff gradually, then the story will help you kind of come to terms with the vast amount of options we have available.
The story integrates really nicely into a very customization-heavy play, create, share game. It's really entertaining. It's really informative.
At the end of the day, if going through the career, they've experienced the creativity that we've put in it, and they've done a lot of racing, had a lot of fun. We're hoping that at the end of that they won't be intimidated by the tools, that they'll get excited about making their own creations.
Even this reporter is getting into the spirit of things.
We'll be really happy if everyone in the game has not only made creations, but felt just a little bit of pride in them and then shared them with the rest of the community.
PlayStation